It has always bugged and puzzled me why TLC have never received their flowers and recognition from the world of K-pop. They can recognize Black American artists, but it seems to be really selective. No comments. Since the noughties, I've heard K-pop artists and agencies acknowledge Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, Beyonce, Missy Elliott, and people like MC Hammer. But they don't acknowledge the people who inspired the rap, vocal, dance element of K-pop. And worse still, people think it's this man. K-pop fans often forget that K-pop is a business. If it didn't make money, it wouldn't exist. Nothing in K-pop happens by chance or by accident or organically. It has all been planned. Let's go back to the 90s. The blueprint for K-pop idol bands from the 1990s to the present day is the group TLC. To all the newbie K-pop fans, and some of you may be racist, if TLC had never existed, neither would your favourite K-pop idols. Let that sink in. And that is the reason why you have years and years of idol training in South Korea and you don't have idol training in America. While people do get trained in America, that performance skill set happens organically. Young South Korean producers and performers of the 1990s were also aware there was a risk of borrowing from Black American culture. It could work, but it also could turn into cheesy novelty. So a good 20 years before Alex was hired to be in Black Swan, Sangmin hired Mikey to be in Woo-Ra. It just wasn't cost effective to hire Black American people to give you swag on stage. So the kiddies had to be trained from a very young age to have all aspects of that TLC blueprint: vocal, dance and rap. While all embryonic K-pop agencies of the 1990s took the TLC blueprint, one agency in particular took the piss and took the liberty. There are K-pop fans that exist that think Left Eye copied H.O.T.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
Why just have a boy group copying TLC when you can also have a girl group?
Well, just as I thought, trash.
I never had a problem with the artists. I had a problem with the agency.
But why do I always feel like I'm in the twilight zone? And
I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream?
Well, just as I thought, trash.
Satisfaction is the name of this case. So I choose to explain this evidence. So I don't mean the rest of her body is irrelevant. In other words, let's refresh your head about
we like that slow. You never know stop, you never don't quit. Kick up some sound, so the keep up now.
As SES were SES and not TLC, no one could rap, so they added male rappers instead.
Well, just as I thought, trash.
you pick the two down mind. Dreams are hopeless aspirations and hopes are coming true. Believe in yourself, the rest is up to me and you. Go chasing. 나가요. 꿈을 모두 모아서. Passenger side, best friends ride. Trying to holler at me. No scrub, is a guy. 그래 나의 유기적인 심해.
No one is asking SM or any other agency to worship at TLC's feet, but just give these ladies credit. The K-pop fandom reminds me of the old rock and roll boomer fandom, where people were born, lived and died not acknowledging the black artists who created rock and roll. The fact the fandom behaves identically shows how far we have not come. We now know the rock and roll fandom was racist because the management and decision makers were racist. Things do not drip up, things drip down. So using this information, we need to look at the management and the decision makers in the world of K-pop who create this environment. YG, JYP, SM. Watching these two men closely for over a decade, I've concluded that they're more narcissistic megalomaniacs than they are racist. Like Big Hit Management, they could do more and they have made mistakes, but they give the black artists that they have copied their flowers and acknowledgement. Whereas this one doesn't even acknowledge that black artists and entertainers exist while simultaneously stealing from them. So if you want to kick racism out of the fandom, you have to address the management. That is the only way. You've got to watch what they are not saying and who they are not thanking. When you get numbskulls in the K-pop fandom that say black women can't do K-pop, and they are actually the blueprint, the gold standard for idol groups, and the people who know this and have created K-pop sit down and say absolutely nothing, that has to be addressed.